I sold everything I owned to live in a van. 6 months later, I found myself stranded in the middle of nowhere with no water, no signal, and absolutely no clue what to do next. This is what Instagram doesn't show you about van life. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 brutal realities of van life that nobody talks about, and exactly how to overcome them. If you're dreaming about hitting the road, you need to watch this first, because what I'm about to share could save you thousands of dollars and countless headaches. Imagine waking up to a stunning mountain view, then realizing your water tank is nearly empty. This happens way more often than van life Instagram accounts show. Water access becomes a daily challenge when you're off-grid, and it's one most beginners completely underestimate. You can't just turn on a tap when you're parked in the wilderness. I've driven 20 miles out of my way to find a water fill station, only to discover it was closed for the season. That's hours wasted, plus the gas money spent getting there. Most new van lifers don't realize how quickly water disappears. Drinking, cooking, washing dishes, and even basic hygiene add up fast. The average van lifer needs 10 to 15 liters per day just for essentials. Run out, and suddenly your remote paradise feels more like a survival situation. But there's a better way to handle this. Apps like Park4Night and iOverlander show all nearby water sources, including free fill stations, dump points, and even public taps. The key is checking recent reviews before driving out. Some spots might be seasonal or broken. Online van life communities also share hidden gems, like gas stations with free water or campgrounds that let you fill up for a small fee. Always carry extra jugs for backup, and plan your route around water stops. If you're staying in one place for a while, scout out multiple options in case one falls through. A little preparation saves hours of frustration, and keeps you from rationing your last liter like it's the apocalypse. That picture-perfect sunset photo probably cost $50 in gas just to get there. Fuel expenses add up way faster than most van lifers expect, especially when you're constantly moving between scenic spots and essential resources. I've had weeks where my gas station receipts total over $200, and that was just for basic travel, not even counting detours for water, groceries, or unexpected errands. Most people don't realize how much driving is involved in van life. You're not just cruising from one beautiful location to another. You're driving to find water, dump waste, restock food, and sometimes just to get a cell signal. The average van gets 15 to 20 miles per gallon, so a 300-mile week, which isn't hard to hit, costs between $75 and $100 at current prices. And that's if you're careful. If you're chasing remote campsites or backtracking because you forgot supplies, it's easy to burn through twice that. There are ways to cut these costs without giving up mobility. First, plan routes in loops instead of making separate trips. If you know you need groceries, fuel, and water, hit all 3 in one run rather than driving back and forth. Gas price apps like Gas Buddy show the cheapest stations along your route, and even small savings add up over time. Some truck stops and membership clubs offer discounts if you plan ahead. Another big saver is staying in one area longer. Instead of moving every day or two, try spending a week in a single region. You'll use less fuel, get to know the area better, and have time to find the best local resources. Assign a restocking day where you handle all your errands at once. Water fill up, laundry, groceries, so you're not making multiple trips. Diesel vans can sometimes get better mileage, but maintenance costs might offset the savings. If you're considering a van, factor in fuel efficiency along with everything else. A bigger, more comfortable rig might seem appealing, but if it gets 10 miles to the gallon, you'll feel it at every pump. Wind resistance and weight also affect fuel use. Roof racks, bulky storage, and heavy gear all drag down your mileage. Pack light when possible, and avoid leaving unnecessary items on your roof unless you need them. Keeping tires properly inflated helps too. It's a small thing, but it makes a difference over thousands of miles. Some van lifers use reward programs or credit cards that give cash back on gas purchases. It's not a huge discount, but every bit helps. If you're traveling in popular areas, look for van life groups that share tips on cheap fuel spots or free camping resources. Fuel costs are inevitable, but with smart planning, they don't have to wreck your budget. The key is thinking ahead and minimizing unnecessary trips. A little strategy goes a long way when every gallon counts. Let's talk about the bathroom situation. The part of van life nobody wants to admit is a problem until they're doing the middle of the night panic dance searching for a place to go. Public restrooms close, campsites are expensive, and sometimes the only option is a bottle or a bush. It's not glamorous, but it's reality. Campsites in England cost between 16 to 25 pounds or more for 24 hours, and that adds up fast if you're relying on them just for bathroom access. Even in places with public restrooms, they're often locked at night or too far from where you're parked. I've woken up at 3 a.m. desperately scrolling apps to find a 24-hour gas station, only to realize the nearest one is a 15-minute drive away. Not fun when you're half asleep and crossing your legs. A composting toilet is one of the best solutions. Unlike traditional portable toilets, they separate liquids and solids, which cuts odor by about 90%. You don't need harsh chemicals, and they're more sustainable since you're not dumping waste into sewage systems. They're compact enough to fit in small vans, and you won't have to deal with the dreaded blue juice sloshing around in a cassette toilet. Some models even have fans to keep air circulating, so smells don't build up. If you're not ready for a composting toilet, at least know your backup options. Truck stops usually have showers and restrooms, though some charge a small fee. Gyms like Anytime Fitness or 24-hour locations let you shower and use facilities if you have a membership. Grocery stores, fast food joints, and big box retailers often have restrooms, but they're not always open late. Apps like Park 4 Night show spots with public restrooms or showers, but always check recent reviews. Some locations might be closed or sketchy. For emergencies, keep a portable toilet, or even just a sturdy bottle with a wide mouth. It's not ideal, but when nature calls at 2 a.m. in the middle of nowhere, you'll be glad you have it. Baby wipes are essential for quick cleanups, and a small trash bin with a lid helps manage waste discreetly. Showers are another challenge. Some vanlifers install portable showers with rechargeable pumps that recycle water, which works for quick rinses. Others rely on gym memberships, truck stops, or even beach showers when they're near the coast. If you're wild camping, a solar shower bag hung outside can work in a pinch, though the water might be cold. The key is planning ahead. Before you park for the night, scope out nearby bathrooms or have a system ready in your van. Know where the 24-hour options are along your route, and always have backup supplies. It's not the most exciting part of van life, but figuring it out means fewer stressful moments and more time enjoying the adventure. You'll find the perfect remote work spot with an incredible view, set up your laptop, and then realize no signal. This happens more often than you'd think, and it's a major problem for vanlifers who rely on the internet for work. Coverage maps from cell carriers often look great on paper, but in reality they're unreliable, especially in remote areas. I've wasted hours driving to spots that supposedly had full bars, only to find zero service when I got there. For digital nomads, this isn't just an inconvenience, it's a direct threat to their income. Graphic designers, writers, virtual assistants, and other remote workers need consistent internet to stay employed. Public Wi-Fi isn't a real solution either. Coffee shops and libraries often have weak signals, data limits, or security risks. If your job requires video calls or large file uploads, unreliable connections can cost you clients. Tools like nperf help solve this by showing real-time, user-reported signal strength data. Instead of trusting a carrier's overly optimistic map, you can check actual speed tests from other users in the area. This lets you scout locations before committing to them. I've avoided so many dead zones by checking nperf first. It saved me from last-minute scrambles to find service before a deadline. A dual SIM phone setup is another game changer. Using two different carriers means you're more likely to have at least one working signal. Some providers have better coverage in rural areas, while others excel in cities. By switching between them, you reduce the risk of being completely cut off. Apps like Fi Network Tools can automatically switch to the strongest available network, so you don't have to manually fiddle with settings. For critical workdays, a signal booster can make the difference between getting paid and missing deadlines. These devices amplify weak signals, turning one bar into 3. They're not cheap, but if your income depends on connectivity, they're worth the investment. Just make sure you position the external antenna properly. Higher is usually better. Some vanlifers mount them on telescopic poles or even trees for maximum range. Another trick is downloading offline versions of essential tools. Google Maps lets you save areas for navigation without service. Email clients like Outlook can queue messages to send once you're back online. If you know you'll be in a low signal area, prep as much as possible beforehand. Starlink has become a popular option for vanlifers who need high-speed internet anywhere. It's expensive and requires power, but for full-time remote workers, it's often the only way to guarantee connectivity in truly remote spots. The newer, more portable dishes are easier to set up, though you'll still need a clear view of the sky. Even with all these tools, you'll still have days where nothing works. That's why it's smart to have backup plans, like knowing the nearest town with reliable service, or scheduling important calls during times you know you'll be near civilization. Some vanlifers plan their routes around co-working spaces or libraries in bigger towns, using those as anchor points for work-heavy weeks. Van life isn't about those picture-perfect Instagram moments. It's about solving daily problems with creativity. The freedom is incredible, but the logistics are real. With the right systems, you can cut the headaches and focus on the adventure. Apps like Park4Night and iOverlander make finding water, parking, and signal way easier. A composting toilet saves dignity, and planning fuel stops keeps costs down. Every challenge is a chance to grow more adaptable. If this helped, hit like and subscribe for more real van life tips. Drop a comment. Which struggle surprised you most? Your experiences help others prep better. Safe travels out there.